Hi everyone, day 23, first morning in Paris. I'm out for morning shopping just to get us some stuff for breakfast as we're settling into the new place. And I'm just in literally a little park across from the building where I live, with like a fountain and like benches, and there's another sculpture there. Anyway, this was full yesterday afternoon, and now I'm the only one here, which is great. For a moment, I love people too. Don't get me wrong, but just to do a recording is it's nice to have some privacy. So much. I mean, I had like a crazy night because of the jet lag. So half of the time I was like thinking, which is so bad, right? Thinking in the middle of the night is the worst. Because everything is magnified and exaggerated, and the theme of my worried thoughts is what came up for me as emotion yesterday as I was doing my video. The emotion that came out was telling. The emotion that came out was when I was speaking of my husband and how yesterday, and it's been happening, but yesterday I think it became really like I noticed it in myself that we're not that young couple, that picture that I posted for our anniversary, we're not that young couple. We were 22 and 28 when we met, and now we're 58 and 64. So yesterday, when we found out that the lift in the apartment to get to the apartment isn't working, and I could see that my husband got more upset than I was, because of course he would be the one carrying the luggage, right? And I suddenly and I noticed that there was this like strong tender emotion that rose in me, and a protective one too. And I remember saying, oh my God, don't worry, we'll figure it out, or I'll help you. But of course, like, as a man, he's trained not to let me help him with like heavy things, right? And so it's just like this brings up so much. Because yesterday, as I was also recording my video, what came up for me is that like all the things that he does for me, that I want to say that I didn't want to recognize when I was very, very angry with him, those years that I was angry with him, when I felt that I'm the only one who does anything, who makes sure that the whole world runs, with the children and the emotional weight of running a family, and all that is true. I did so much for my family. I did so much for my children. But I think what many of us, especially women, don't always notice is all the things that our partners do, things that we might not even be aware of. Like, of course, when I travel on my own, I lug my own luggage, right? When I travel on my own, I put it into taxi, obviously, right? But when we travel together, like, he takes care of it all without even me paying attention to it. It's just assumed. And I just think it's so, and that's just one of the little things that I'm paying attention to now. So yeah, I mean, but what came up yesterday was, acknowledging, right? Acknowledging what people who are in relationships with us, who share our lives, what they do. Sometimes we're very focused on how exhausted and frustrated we are. And this is where I say self-responsibility means taking time to nourish ourselves so that we don't give from depletion, but we give from overflow as much as possible. I know that sometimes we need to go into our reserves in order to take care of people we love, who are important to us, and that's fine and it's normal. But also to pay attention to what other people do for us is huge. And of course, for me, the practice of gratitude that I started years ago includes, like, anytime somebody even, invites me for a meal or offers me anything, or even kind words, that's energy. Like, people who read something from me and loved it, or felt resonance, or my clients who are happy and send me, happy and grateful messages. Like, all of this is energy coming my way that reinforces me, that nourishes me, and I just am so aware of every little gesture that anybody does for me. I think that it's like, over time, has changed a lot of the way I live in the world. But coming back to the aging, and realizing that my husband is not that young man anymore, and thank God he's, healthy and capable and all that, but there is a kind of a tenderness and a wish to be protective of him. And even now, as I'm speaking, like, the emotion is rising. Wow. So there is a lot of, I think, of that's untapped, that maybe I haven't expressed enough to him and to myself. And just being in gratitude, Sorry about the sound. Being in gratitude for... What is that? A helicopter or something? Oh yeah, a helicopter right above me. Sorry for the noise. Yeah, being in gratitude, being in this realization that this person, both of us spent when we spend our life together, then we spend our old age together, hopefully, as long as possible. Just that increasing awareness of the fragility of life and the aging process, and of course we can say 50 is the new 30, or like 50 is the new 40, and we all look and feel so much better than our parents did, perhaps, or several generations ago. But like, that aging and the kind of sadness, but also softness and tenderness around it, really came into my being yesterday. Like, I really understood it. And on one hand, I have been such a proactive kind of voice for embracing aging and not trying to hide it, and not trying to cover it up, and not trying to fight it, mostly. Like, whenever I hear anything anti-aging, I just feel like it's kind of I understand the wanting to prevent diseases and the healthy lifestyle and movement and nourishment and all that. But anything that's like fight aging, anti-aging, to me it's kind of like hurts my ear when I hear it, because you can't fight it. You can prolong certain stages of our lives, but I'm just not into longevity. Like, I'm not into counting. How can I say? What am I trying to say? I'm like thinking as I'm recording. I want to be, rather than, I guess what I'm trying to say is, rather than fight aging and not be here for what it all represents to me today, I want to embrace aging, and aging together, aging of my own body, aging of my husband's body, mind, everything. Like, And it's tricky, like in the, at night when I was thinking about it, there was a little bit of fear as well. There was a little bit of trepidation and unsureness of what does all that mean going forward. But already like that, it would have been hard for my husband to run up 6 flights of stairs without baggage, Meanwhile, the young man who was letting us into the apartment and helping us settle, like, it was amazing how easily he did it, Like, he didn't even stop for a breath. So just that, those differences. And yeah, anyway, this is where I'm at today, just kind of trying to make sense of it all for myself and sharing, where I am at with all of this. And again, every time this comes up for me, like that love for my husband and how many years I couldn't access it at all, and realizing now that everything is turning around, how it was in me all along, and just like I was blocking it with my thoughts and my frustrations and my anger, and all those feelings have place to be, but because I stopped putting it on him and took it to me and looked at what my anger means for me and what my frustrations and irritations mean for me and what my disappointments mean about me, I could change my life and I could access love again toward my husband and toward myself and toward everything and everyone else in life. So yeah. Wow. I think this is probably one of the more important videos I made in this cycle. Like in the way it feels to me, like the kind of insight that's coming. Anyway, I'm off to my morning market and I will be here tomorrow.